Hey, what's up? Okay, welcome to Training to Retire. So I've said on this channel that because of COVID, I stopped working out at the gym and started working out at home. I used to compete in powerlifting, so I had all the weights I needed for powerlifting here in my home. But I started getting older, and also my wife and I started traveling, and I found it more and more difficult to maintain my workout routine when we were traveling. So I realized, I'm getting to an age where I really don't want to be lifting weight like that anymore. Anyway, it's not really good for you after a certain age, but it is good for you to do weight resistant exercise. You don't always have access to weights, and I want to keep the momentum going for my workout routine. So I designed some exercises, or designed a workout program for me that is based on exercises that work pretty much all the muscle groups and help me to avoid atrophy, right? So I'm going to share with you what I do on shoulder day with just body weight. And this is mandatory for me. Now, this is going to take a lot of strength. So you may not be able to do this if you're around my age, but if you are in really good shape and you think you can do this, I'm going to show you how I do it. Basically, what I call these are handstand push-ups. And I either use a safe space in a room where there's nothing in the way. When I come down, I'm not going to have to worry about knocking over anything. Or this door works really well. I just notice I'm checking to make sure that it's secure because I don't want it to, fall open and then me fall through. I've had that happen before because my wife didn't secure the door and I didn't check. So anyway, it looked secure. So one thing that I always want to do, and anybody should, is when you do a shoulder day, you want to warm up those shoulders. You don't just want to just jump into it, especially if it's a heavy exercise. Now, if I'm traveling, I can warm up with different things in, say, a hotel room or different things around the house if I don't want to use weights, and just do light shoulder presses, even with, a couple of cans of food or, whatever I want to use. But this exercise I'm going to show you today is mandatory for me. I have to do at least 3 sets of this exercise, preferably 4. And I try to do 8 reps. Depends on how heavy I am at the time and how low I am on energy. Because, sometimes I'm a little weaker because of fasting. Sometimes I'm stronger because I've been carving up. It just varies from day to day. But I don't beat myself up over that. I just make sure that I give it a shot, and I try to do at least 5 repetitions on each set. Okay. Now, when I go down and do this, you're gonna observe that I'm wearing little short socks, because when I put my feet up against this door or any wall, I want my feet to slide nicely up and down the wall without any friction. Okay. So that's why I wear socks when I do this. Also, you don't want to do it with shoes. You could, put black marks, depending on your shoes, on the wall. You don't want to do that. And I'm going to put my hands about shoulder width apart and then turn my elbows out slightly. And when I get into that position, I'm going to be in a handstand position, and I'm going to be looking forward. Okay. But when I push, that's when I'm coming down. When I push up, I pull my head back and I look directly at the floor. And I'm not sure if it's psychological or if it's actually physical, but when I pull my head back and look directly at the floor when I push up, I find that I have more strength and more ability to push up. So it could just be motivation. I don't want to land on my face. I don't know. So basically, I'm going to get into a sprinter's position. And I'm about
a foot and a half, maybe 2 feet. No, about a foot and a half away from the wall. Okay. And I'm just going to pop myself up into a handstand position. And then I'm going to settle myself, get into a good position from there. And when I feel ready, I'll start doing reps. Here we go. Okay. And I want my hands a little bit wider. There we go. And okay, so I'm going to come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, so that was the first set. And the first set, even though I've warmed up my shoulders, they still need to be warmed up some more. So the first set, I did 6 reps. I feel pretty good about that. And I weigh about 160 pounds. And 5'3". So I guess, technically I'm overweight. But you can't look at that. You got to look at actual BMI, right? What's your actual body fat percentage? Not what charts tell you, right? And that's something else that I work on a lot, is keeping my body fat level down, making sure that my arteries are as clear as possible, to avoid heart problems. Also, it does help you to have better performance in your love life if you have less body fat, because let's face it, performance in the bedroom is about circulation, right? And of course, plaque can get in the way, and testosterone or lack of testosterone can get in the way too. But it's mostly about circulation, right? Okay, so I'm going to do another set in just a minute here. But while I'm pausing and recovering, I do want to ask you to consider subscribing. The reason I'm asking for this is because I'm trying to get to that first goal of 50 subscribers. Okay? If I can get 50 subscribers, then we can start to do lives. And you and I can talk. And you can give me your feedback, and I can give you mine. You can ask me questions, and I can give you answers or even advice. But we can do a live conversation. And, if you want feedback, I'm here. But I can't do it without 50 subscribers. So if you could, go ahead and subscribe. You don't have to hit the like button or the bell icon. I mean, that would be great if you did that, but you don't have to do that. That's not what I'm shooting for right now. Right now, what I'm shooting for is to get us to a point where we can talk. By the way, in case you were wondering, I'm not a personal trainer. I'm just an older guy who has always worked out. Okay. And even competed in powerlifting and martial arts. So, and I'm kind of a health nut, and I'm training to retire. And what I mean by that is I'm training to be in my best shape that I can be when I reach my retirement years, which are not far away. Okay. And hopefully what we can do with this channel is we can motivate you to do the same, motivate you to take better care of yourself as you get to your retirement years. Or maybe if you are in your retirement years, motivate you in those years as well. Okay? All right. So let's do another set. I should be able to do more than 6 this time, because that first set was a warm-up set. And usually on the second set, I can do more reps. Okay. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3,
3, 4, 5. Okay. Nope. Well, not today. That's all right. Okay. So that was my second set. I guess I needed more recovery time. And that's the thing that's so nice about, to me, doing this kind of exercise, especially if you work from home. I don't have to go to a gym to do this. I don't have to worry about people staring at me or anything like that. I'm at home, and I can even break this workout up with longer break periods so that I can get more reps and more sets into the workout. Because if they're too close together, you may not be getting the recovery time you need. But the muscle is still being worked. You know what I mean? Especially when it's a heavier weight. I'm pressing 160 pounds. That's what I weigh right now. So that's 160 pounds, 6 reps, and then 6 reps again. That's a heavy workout. And depending on how strong you are and how much you weigh, you can gauge that for what you want to do and what you can do. But I do want to point out to you that all of the weight-resistant workouts that I do are just body weight. Okay? So that's the heaviest one, really. Even my leg workout isn't that heavy. Because, you can't look at squats. You can't look at squats as impactful for, the amount of weight that you're moving as that. Because really, you're not lifting as much weight when you do squats as you are when you're doing that. And the reason I say that is because arms don't weigh as much as legs. At least they shouldn't, if you're proportionate. So anyway, I'm keeping these break periods kind of short for me. So I may not be able to do 6 reps this time. Okay. And I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I'm just going to see what I can do and work my shoulders on shoulder day. Okay. All right, here we go. Going to get set number 3 in. Okay. I didn't want to try and do 5 that time. Just didn't feel like I was going to be able to do it. Whew. Yeah, I am used to having longer breaks on these, definitely. Now that I have the camera on, and I'm not doing any edits because I want you to see what I'm doing so that you can see that this is real. And just being totally transparent with you. Woo. So, I don't know, I just realized you can leave comments in the comments section and give me your feedback on this exercise. Is it something that you think you could do? Something that you'd like to do? Or something that you'd like to get to the point where you can do it? Why not? So you may be wondering, okay, so how do I break up my workouts throughout the week, right? I should put this in all of my exercise videos. So typically what I'll do is on Monday, I will do shoulder day because that requires a lot of tricep strength. And I want to save my, I want to have as much assistance on my shoulder day as possible. So the triceps are helping out quite a bit on this. But it focuses a lot of weight on the shoulders. So I do shoulder day first,
And I'm doing this in sort of a push-pull pattern. So Monday is push, Tuesday is pull, Wednesday is push, Thursday is pull, and then Friday is legs. And I do it that way also because I don't want to, blow out my legs on Monday and then not be able to function very well throughout the week. I'd rather blow my legs on Friday and then spend the weekend recovering. You know what I mean? So it's shoulder day on Monday. Tuesday is typically bicep day. And I have some exercises for that where I'm not using body weight, but I am using things around the house, or if I'm in a hotel, things that I can find around the hotel, even just a chair, you do hammer curls with that. But it's the one thing that here at home I use weights for. I have a curl bar and I just use that. But if I'm in a hotel room, I'm going to find a piece of furniture that I can do curls with. Wednesday is tricep day, and I do 3 to 4 isolated tricep exercises that are all body weight, and I'll share those with you on my tricep day workout. And then after that is back day, and I do pull-ups, but I don't like to make that a regular part of my routine because you can't always get access to something that you can do chin-ups or pull-ups on, right? But you can find something to do body weight rows with. And on my back day, I'll show you how I do that. Okay, it's pretty cool. I was really excited when I discovered this exercise, but it can really help you to avoid atrophying your back, your lats, basically. And then, of course, leg day is a combination of squats and some other leg exercises. My legs get so much exercise throughout the week that I don't worry about it too much, especially at my age. I just want to make sure that I'm working those muscles, that I can squat down, and without pushing up with my hands, I can get up just with my leg strength alone. And I mean, that's something you want when you get into your retirement years. So I always make sure that my legs are strong enough that I can do that. And there's some certain positions that you want to be able to get out of, because the legs are crucial. I mean, they are critical to your quality of life when you get into your retirement years. Okay, I'm going to do another set. I've lost track of how many I've done. Let's see. No, that was 3. So this will be the 4th and final. Like I said, I like to do 4 sets so that I can make sure that I get my, get my reps in, and make sure that my shoulders get that power experience that they really need. Okay. All right. Now, that doesn't mean that I want to keep my body weight up because I don't. I want to keep my body weight lighter than I am right now. I'll put it that way. And that's largely because of keeping my arteries clear, keep my body fat level down, and making sure that I can perform well in the bedroom, and also to avoid any kind of heart disease or any kinds of issues like that. Or body fat can house toxins and things that are dangerous to your body, that can get stored in there. And so if you have less body fat, you're less likely to retain those chemicals and toxins and whatnot that are in the food we eat. So, yeah. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to do a 4th and final set. I'm not going to make any predictions about how many reps I'm going to do. We're going to find out. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Looking forward, looking up. 3, 4.
5. Okay. All right. Still got 5 in. All right. So that's my shoulder day. Usually I get more reps in because I give myself more of a break in between. And you could do the same. And again, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe so that I can get 50 subscribers and we can start doing lives. I really want to do that on a regular basis. Excuse me. I do 3 power walks a day, and I want to do lives on those so that we can talk and I can give you feedback and you can give me feedback. Anyway, have an awesome day and check out my next workout on training to retire.